Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to episode 2 of the Culture Decides. I'm your host, Lee. Happy to be back. January has been crazy. I personally had a wild month. I went on a nice vacation, and why, y'all, when I came back, got sick, knocked me out, messed up my whole schedule. I wanted to talk to y'all a lot sooner, but it's okay because I'm just going to give y'all the January recap. We got some good music to talk about. Before I get started and tell y'all the agenda for this episode, make sure you follow the Culture Decides on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you. So, the agenda for today, we're going to go through some crazy moments and then hop right into album reviews. I got some opinions on what came out over the last couple of weeks. We did have Central C just drop, Hunxho, Jordan, Adetunji dropped a mixtape, which was highly anticipated, especially after the hit Kehlani, and then the Weeknd. Is it the end of the trilogy? I will tap into that and let you know my thoughts. So, like I said, before we get there, we're gonna hop into some crazy moments because January, it's been a wild month. Like, you know how the weekend said, "Hurry up tomorrow." Yes, hurry up tomorrow because it's about to be February. Let's just kick this month out. We started with this orange man in the office, so that's kind of wacky. First week, kind of scary. Second week, I don't really like what's going on. So you know, just to kick it off with that is actually the first crazy, one of the craziest moments to happen. Like, I can't believe it actually did. But, as we are like going through this next term, y'all, it's important to find community and stick together and really just like take a break from social media as well every now and then to find things and listen to things that make you happy, whether it's this podcast, your favorite show, just like find a way to disassociate in a healthy way because it's a lot to consume every day. It seems like we're taking a step back into olden times, and that's not good for us Black people. We need to find a way to cool it down, right? Decompress in healthy ways. That's my advice to y'all for episode 2. Decompress in healthy ways, please. But while we're talking about, unfortunately, the orange man, there are some more sellout celebs that, as his presidency begins and continues on, we will start seeing more and more people, unfortunately, show their asses. And we got 4 today. There's definitely a lot more, but 4 that stood out to me that was like, really, what's going on? So, as far as sellout celebs, we got Snoop, we got Rick Ross, we got Nelly, and Soulja Boy. All 4 of them performed at the crypto ball inauguration ceremony celebrating this guy, and like was just very ignorant about it. Snoop Dogg in particular a few years ago was like, "Oh, if whoever I see up there dancing for Uncle Tom, blah blah blah, I'm gonna be the first one to call you out your name," and all this nonsense. And fast forward, here he is dancing, saying and we're saying my nigga in front of these people that like don't give a fuck about us. The first thing they did was attack us their first week in office, pull back everything that had to do with Black people. Well, not everything, but it seems like we're getting there, and like I said, band together. So yeah, very corny. Rick Ross, come on, you gonna come at Drake, call him white boy, do all this thing, and then here you are. Nelly, ignorant decision. It just seems like a money grab. Like, just say you broke and you got a baby and you got to take care of it. We understand. No, I actually don't understand a lot. I do not understand. But, to just be irresponsible and say what he said in defense was really corny. And then Soldier Boy, his defense was like, he didn't even have a defense. He was just like, cancel me all day. I don't care. So I'm like, bet. I mean, you're not really relevant right now. You dropped something last year that was not good. I mean, you had your era, but that era's gone. And if you want to be canceled, sure, why not? I just think it's very ridiculous and irresponsible. But like I said, we gotta take a break from these things. So whatever. That was my little tidbit. So y'all stay in the know about who the side eye with me, if you care. Outside of that, wow. So some other crazy shit that happened. So Drake actually dropped a freestyle called Fighting Irish. In my opinion, he's using recycled flows, but the reason why I thought this was like kind of like a crazy moment is because a lot of people are speculating based on the lyrics. Fighting Irish, the name of the track, it is addressed towards LeBron. Apparently LeBron reached out on some, man to man, you and I talk about what's going on, and Drake declined and decided to drop this track instead in the middle of the month. I feel like, if that's your boy, you got him tatted on you and everything, maybe pick up the phone, have the conversation. I'm not saying you have to agree with him at the end of it, but I think it's worth having a conversation. So that's my opinion. I ain't really like it. Uh, but I think he has a lot to work on, and he's doing a lot. Another crazy moment is that he dropped one lawsuit, and we was like, okay, what's going on? But then, like, a few hours later, I think the same day or the next day, he picked up on a defamation against freaking UMG, Spotify, or pretty much the label UMG, saying that they pushed records that, were saying untrue things about him. And he had the nerves to include content creators within the lawsuit, naming people that do reaction videos and stuff like that, podcasters. I feel like that was completely unnecessary. I do feel as though, like, why are you including people that are critiquing your music? Like, fans have the right to do so. Like, I don't care if you get mad about what I say. I mean, I'm not on the radar, but some other people are, and I think it's very, like, very weird to do that. I feel like you asked for this and now it's like, oh no, people are critiquing me, people saying I lost. Like, how dare y'all? Like, not me. But yeah, that was a very lame move for him to just throw a stab at other people. And I honestly feel like this is all efforts to, like, try to throw a stunt while Kendrick has the Super Bowl performance coming up, which I'm going to be talking about. I'm looking forward to that. February seems to be a little exciting, for the world of entertainment. So we got that coming up. We got the Grammys coming up. So a few things to talk about there. But yeah, K Dot's going to have that Super Bowl performance regardless. And honestly, he can do an amazing job without even performing Not Like Us. But this man is just crashing out with these lawsuits, and he's so afraid of something that's going to happen anyways. And one thing I have to say, in addition to, like, the Drake lawsuit and then him calling out content creators, is that around the same time, Lil Baby jumped in, and I guess he was feeling away because people was giving his album a 6 out of 10, which I agree with. I personally did rate it a 6 out of 10. I do not think it's better than his previous bodies of work. I think it has diminished over the years. I said it before, I say it again because I stand by it. And he jumped in and was like throwing shots like at streamers like Kai and shit, and saying like they don't know music and trying to invalidate the public's opinion. Like, take the 6 out of 10 and calm down, because you making yourself look worse. So, but anyways, we got the Super Bowl coming up, which, regardless of what Drake thinks, how he how fearful he is of, what's to come or what might be said, it's coming. And another highlight, I would say, announcement that happened this month, is that SZA will be joining Kendrick on that stage. There was, I guess you could say, a little Easter egg in the announcement video that had a marching band in the back, similar to Tyler Creator, how he had a marching band. People speculate that he might be like a surprise guest. We don't know yet. He went on socials to say, I'm not doing that, I'm on tour, which congrats to him for going on tour, but I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. I'm going to be excited to see whoever hops on that stage. I think Kendrick by himself can hold it down, so it's about to be lit, in my opinion. But yeah, all right, another highlight moment. I think this has been buzzing all month. Leangelo Ball from the Ball brothers dropped Tweakers earlier this month, and It has Socials in a Frenzy. It's giving that early 2000 vibes. And he actually just dropped the video this week, and has some early 2000 references with the Hummer and everything in the video. But I feel like it's giving like a Gen Z twist on it. Some people are arguing online that it could have more like early 2000 vibes. So some people are arguing that, oh, would it have been corny to overdo it? I think it's a great song. The video was cool. He had his brothers in there, nothing too crazy. Could have maybe included some more elements, but still, great song nonetheless. All right. So outside of that, I did actually want to mention a fun fact about Hey Now from GNX. So the story behind it actually came out over the course of the last few weeks, and Mustard was pretty much like how he had this beat since 2019, and he's given it to different artists, and no one could just get it right. Like, he gave it to YG. He was pretty much like, no. He gave it to Quavo. Quavo was like, what you want me to do with this shit? Whisper. A Ty Dolla Sign actually did make a version that's apparently out there, but Mustard wasn't really feeling it like that, so it never really came out. And his goal with Hey Now beat was really to give like a West Coast version of grinding. If you don't know what grinding is, then you need to go do your research and go find that song. But he wanted to give a West Coast, you know, like vibe to in that sense and recreate the song. So pretty much Kendrick was the one to do it, like years later, Kendrick hops on the track and absolutely kills it. So I thought that was a cool fun fact. And while we have the Super Bowl coming up, when you hear that song again, just know that that beat has been in the locker for a minute. It finally made it out. Kendrick did what he had to do, and Mustard and him delivered on that. So that's pretty much a recap of like some top moments, crazy moments, weird moments that happened so far this year, 2025. Wow. Oof, we got to get through it. We need to hurry up. All right. So now, this episode, honestly, it's not gonna be as long as the first one. I'm gonna keep it nice and cute. But we gonna get into the album reviews now. I think couple things I do want to say before we get into the 4 album reviews that I have planned, just giving you an overview of the things that I think. I did want to just touch bases on Lana and Wham. I will say, I feel like I was maybe being a little harsh or a little tough with my critique of Lana. I do still feel as though it doesn't hit as hard as SOS does overall, but it has grown on me. There are a few songs on there that I definitely listen to a lot more, that I've heard like outside, and it has better replay value now, and I do feel as though like it's gonna continue to grow on me. I do like it. As far as Wham, um, I'm disappointed. I feel as though none of the songs make it on my like day-to-day playlist. Listen to music every day when I'm commuting, like just working. Like I love music, so and that's why I'm here talking to y'all about it. But Wham hasn't been on repeat. Like I did have some top songs on there, like Outfit with 21, Stuff with Travis, Dumb and Dumber with King Spider, Young Thug, of course. That was like my top song on there, and Fuck You Twice, another one. But overall, for having like 19 songs, he dropped 15 at first and dropped the deluxe. It wasn't given for me. I feel like I said, it doesn't like it doesn't hit like that, but yeah, I just had to give y'all an update. Like, as far as like from the beginning of the month to the end, SZA's definitely grown on me. Wham, not so much. So now, before I get into these 4 album reviews, I did also want to just give y'all a little more insight about how I actually like review albums. So when they come out, I like to, before I even like see other people's perspective, I like to like dive into it myself. And then of course, if I see anything that's buzzing about specific songs or thoughts that people might have to share after the fact, I do like to like share that and like give it some thought, like, oh, did I feel that way, whatever the case is. But just to give y'all the summary of it, I like to listen to every album in order, top to bottom. I think it's important to do that. And I'm really judging, the bars that's there, the creativity, versatility. I like to hear artists use like different sounds, and like, I do love when artists can like blend different genres. Those are things that stand out to me typically. I do rate features whether there are enough, and if they do have like a considerable amount of features, how much value do they add to the album? And also, most important thing to me, at least, is replay value. Is this something that I can see myself listening to again? Is it going to be on my playlist? Like, if I can't listen to it again, it's not going to get a good score from me. I usually like to rank them out of 10, and like I'll assign sometimes like a letter to it. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, bars, creativity, versatility, features, and repay value are the things that I'm looking for. I also, do think sometimes it is important to consider like the impact the song has or album has too, right? But sometimes you don't get that until like way later. So initially, these are the things that I'm looking for, and as I'm listening to it, that's what I'm writing notes about, any bars that popped out to me, any lines, like what's the overall feel? Does the theme make sense? When we rank all these things together, does it give a theme? If not, okay, what was the point? But those are the things that I'm looking for. So I hope that helps as y'all are maybe listening to music like, hey, like, yeah, this does have high replay value for me. I think this is valid. So, yeah, you're getting into my brain, the more I talk to you guys. But all right, so to kick it off, the first album that I'm gonna talk about that actually just came out last week, I believe it was the 24th, whatever, last week. Yeah, I got it. It came out not so long ago. Central C just dropped Can't Rush Greatness. This album, it has 19 songs. It's 10 minutes shy of being an hour long, 49 minutes, 11 minutes shy, whatever. But honestly, this is Central C's debut album, and I think it's a very solid debut album. He started off very strong. He doesn't overly rely on features, and for not having like a lot of features, I was also impressed with his ability to carry on some solo songs. Um, the beats are fire. Can't rush greatness. I think he said it very well. The UK vibes, I was fucking with it. Honestly, like I'm not always crazy over UK hip hop. Sometimes I feel like maybe because I'm, not from there. Their like accent and sometimes their sounds can sound repetitive, which it happens too with our American music as well. I'm not hating, I promise, but sometimes for me, I'm like, I can't listen to this man. But you know, this album, he's pretty much talking through the transition from him being like a hood booger to like the riches, you know what I'm saying? Like how his life has changed, and like how he used to go through certain struggles and seeing certain shit on the street to now, having money and talking through like, a little bit of like I guess the heartbreak that he experienced with his ex. I feel like there's a couple songs and lyrics that, spoke about like being regretful and shit like that. But yeah, pretty much he's reflective on his rise to fame and that heartbreak that he caused. Now I will say, um, he's like I said, he started off strong. As far as like my top songs, there are a few on there. No Introduction, that was the intro song. I think he had made a little Ice Spice reference on there because he was like, "Turn on your engine, did it fart?" I was thought that was funny. And I'm like, you saying a little fart line like she be doing that too. So, what I'm saying? Y'all vibing? There was rumors that y'all were. Maybe he recorded around that time. But outside of that bar, that's not the best bar in there. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was a good intro song. Outside of that, so No Introduction was one of my top songs. 5 Star, I did like that song too. That's the second track on there. He's pretty much like he got more money than his elders, even though they twice his age. I thought that was a pretty fire bar, and along with the other things that he say. And then he had some Spanish vibes on there with on the song Gata. That's the third song with Young Miko. That song was okay to me. And then I'm gonna skip down to my next favorite song, GBP, which is pounds. You know how we say USD, which is about to be freaking invaluable. Well, whatever. He was talking about the pounds with 21 Savage. 21 Savage on his Brit vibes. Well, he didn't use like a British accent, which I was looking forward to, but whatever. He was like, that's GBP, the price go up if USD, which if the price go up if it's USD. I thought it was fire. I thought that line was fire. I did, like I said, that was another one of my top songs. So we got No Introduction, 5-star, GBP as my top so far. Another song that I thought was good is one of his solo songs where on the song it sounded like he was really venting. It's called Limitless. That's track number 9 on there. I like that. And then just to touch on where we hear some of the sad boy vibes on Now We're Strangers, number 10. You remember I mentioned, sounds like he's like touching on the heartbreak that he caused on that song. He's like talking about breaking his ex-girl's heart and how he tried to buy her love with Chanel, making sure she eat and all that, but that's not enough. He wasn't around. But yeah, that's where that heartbreak vibes come in and some other songs as well. So my next top song from this album, I will say Truth and the Lies with Lil Durk. Free Lil Durk, I guess. He in jail, but he got this feature out. This was actually a sample of Sick of Love Songs by Neo. I would say the sample was pretty okay. Like I think it was like a 7.58 out of 10, pretty solid if you ask me. And then another song that I like, it is another feature. It's the single that already came out, Band for Band with Lil Baby. That was actually pretty good. Lil Baby actually did his thing on that song. I ain't gonna be a hater. I'm gonna give credit what it's due. And then another song that I like, the last song, Don't Know Anymore. Another like venting type vibe, but uh I did like that song as well. He did have like a Kai Cameo on track Walk-in Wardrobe. I like to switch towards the end of the song after Kai comes in. But yeah, as far as my top songs, No Introduction, 5-star, GPP with 21, Limitless, Truth and the Lies featuring Lil Durk, Band for Band with Lil Baby, and Don't Know Anymore. So those are my top songs on the album. And honestly, when I'm listening to albums, I don't give everything like a top song. It has to really stand out to me. And for him to have like, well, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty much like 6 songs that really stood out to me. I feel like that was impressive. I gave this album an 8 out of 10. I gave it a B plus. Yeah, 8 out of 10 B plus. I feel like that was fair. It was a solid debut album. Honestly, I feel like I will go back and listen to some songs here more than I would on Lil Baby's Wham. Don't shoot the messenger. Listen, that's how I'm feeling. I feel like this was better in my opinion, especially considering that I'm not always crazy over UK rap. But Central C did his thing on Can't Rush Greatness. He great title. He did his thing. Can't be mad. US Yankee boy, you need to step it up because we got the UK guys stepping on our toes. All right. So that's it for Central C. Can't Rush Greatness. Check it out if you want to, but not before you finish this episode. All right. Another album that I did a review for that came out recently, Hunxho. He dropped For Us. I'm being honest. I'm always going to try to be honest. I will be always honest. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not, call me out. But the album was really repetitive for me. The songs started off good, but I feel like towards the end of the album, I was starting to tune out some of the songs. And I should mention, like, I usually like to listen on my commute or in the car. Like, that's, I don't know, when I find the times that I can really tune in and like, all right, if you making me feel something while I'm walking and or going on the train or driving or whatever the case is, like that means a lot to me. But this song, I don't know. Like I said, towards the end of the album, towards the end of some songs, like the songs itself will start off good, and I feel like he would just sound repetitive. I don't know if it's his voice or what, but like He didn't have a lot of features on the album either, which is not a bad thing. Listen, Central C didn't have a lot of features on his album either, but for Hunxho, I feel like he might have needed more. So he had like 15 songs on here. It's a 40-minute listen, not bad, but he really just had like Real Recognize Rio and Yachty on here. Just yeah, two features. And like I said, I feel like maybe he needed something more to just help put the separation between his voice and like mix it up a bit for me at least. But so just to give y'all a little like info about the album, For Us is supposed to be a sequel to his project that dropped in 2023 For Her. That was like an ode to a woman in his life, to the woman in his life that he went through good times and bad. And then this album here is supposed to be like, yo, this is me celebrating my victory lap for victory lap for how far I've came, and like what steps he needs to take to like continue his victory and walk of improving as a person. But I'll get into some of the songs that I thought were pretty good. It's not all negative. Number three, track three, Instinct. That song I did like. Pop Out. That song was pretty good. That's track number 6 on there. He's pretty much like talking about his days where he was hustling on the corner, like feeling like popping back out there. I don't know, don't do it, but that was another good song. And then another song that I would say honestly, Big Body with Lil Yachty, it was one of his better songs on the album. So yeah, just really three: Instinct, Pop Out, and Big Body. He did have a song on there called Learning, track 12, where he was reflective about like some of the things that he did wrong and like how he wants to do better next time. That song was okay, but yeah, those are the songs that I really like. Oh, and In These Jordans, that was the first song that came out. He's like, I don't hit at least 100 licks in these. I done hit at least 100 licks in these Jordans. That song, I will say, I'll probably listen to that again. In These Jordans, Pop Out, Big Body with Yachty, and Instinct. I'll give it to his intro song. It wasn't bad, but like I said, started off good. Towards the end, got a little boring. For me, I gave this album I'll be honest. I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10. It's like honestly a C plus in my opinion. Um I feel like him and Lil Baby on they repetitive vibes. It just like you start to tune it out after it sounds the same. I don't know what's going on, but that's how I feel. So next one we hopping into Jordan Adetunji. He dropped a Jaguar's Dream. It's a mixtape, 24 minutes long. They consider this like a gender blurring out R&B vibes, which I feel like it gives all of that. I feel like it gives a little bit of R&B. It does meshes with other genres. It gives a little bit of all. Like it's just vibes across the albums that I feel like he was trying to give. Jaguar's Dream. 24 minutes, quick listen. And not a lot of songs on them. I think it was just right with the 10 songs, honestly. Um, like like I said, Kaylani remix. I was looking forward to those. So I already was like, listen, these songs by itself, him by himself and the remix, those two songs out of the 10 already valid. You already got 2 points there. So another song that I like. So after Kaylani, it goes into the song called Too Many Women with Quinn. Quinn actually went on tour with Kaylani. And Quinn was doing her shit with them. So I did love, hearing the remix. I mean, sorry, I did love hearing. I know I'm talking about the Kelani remix a lot. They did their shit on that. But as far as Too Many Women with Quinn, I was looking forward to hearing Quinn after her performance with Kelani on the tour and everything like that. It's one of the better features of this mixtape. It's actually the top feature of this mixtape, top song for me, honestly. So after that, Jordan goes into this song called Break the System. It has a reggae touch to it. That song is pretty good. He did have a feature on the next song, 305, with Bryson. I like the beat. The song was okay for me, you know. It was okay. So outside of that, the next song that I liked on there is Bedroom. That song was pretty good as a solo with him on there. And then he has a song with Lil Baby called Options. The beat does borrow some of the beat from the Kehlani song. I did like it, but I feel like could have had a little more variation to it. But like I said, it's a mixtape. I feel like it very much gave mixtape vibes. And like out of the 10 songs, I liked four of them. So I feel like that's pretty solid. I mean, the other ones, not that they were bad, they weren't my top songs. They were still worth listening to. And I do see me replaying some of the songs on here for sure. So I give this album, honestly, I give this album a B minus. I would say this is it's like I'd be between a 7.5 out of 10 to a 8, but I want to say it's a 7.5. So like B minus C plus. I am looking forward to hearing what that first album sounds like, but I will say like it's good. It's good. And I'm gonna see if it grows on me, and if it does, I'll let y'all know. But yeah, that's my review for A Jaguar's Dream by Jordan. And then let's get into another and last but not least review for The Weeknd, Hurry Up Tomorrow. This album has been highly anticipated. The Weeknd has been promoting it like, oh, is this the end of the weekend? We don't know. Is it just the end of the trilogy? You know, that's the series of his albums from After Hours and everything like that. Now I feel like there's potential for a new Weekend load in. I don't think it's like the end of him, but I do like how he played on the theme. This album, it is I guess it's a little bit of a lengthy listen, but with the Weekend, you know, we getting 3 to 5 minute songs, you know what I'm saying? So which is good. You know, give us a good song. This album is with it has like 22 songs and it's like an hour and 25 minutes. So long drive. Long drive. Maybe you're driving to the city in traffic. But you know, The Weeknd also did announce this week that he's going on tour with Playboy Cardi. So that's gonna be exciting. I'll tell y'all off rip a single that I heard from this album, Timeless. He listed this as track 14 on here, I believe. Yeah, track 14 with Playboy Cardi. That was already hidden for me. Like I will play that song back to back to back. Like after it end, before it even end, I'm restarting the song. Like when I heard that, it came out last year. I was really excited to hear it. I did. I do love this song, and I still replay it to this day. So off rip, that's my top song. I'm telling you, that's one of my top songs right now. But overall, like I do feel as though the album could have been a little shorter. He had a lot of songs on there. I do feel as though it could have, you know, maybe take some songs out. But that's my opinion. Now I do feel as though from like Big Sleep onward, the songs were okay. That's like towards the end of the album. Like I think that's track like 16 or so, but I feel as though as we get into that down, I'm like, maybe we could have started to take some of these songs away. Maybe we could have left it at 16 and it would have been a higher ranking for me. But, you know, this album, pretty much The Weeknd, this is like his sixth studio album, which is amazing. It's a part of his three parts to the trilogy from After Hours, like I said before. And the album, it really talks through like him going through isolation, the theme exploring like him going through his like I guess like an identity crisis, his legacy and like moments of like uncertainty. He has a song on here where he talks about like an embarrassing moment that happens to him. So a lot of like vulnerability, a lot of venting, a lot of like moments that it felt kind of dark and spooky. I feel like we do get that from the weekend a lot. I feel like he of course gave some H&M vibes too, he'd be doing that, but some disco pop vibes. It was the weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like he has grown as an artist now. As far as me and my relationship with his music, the weekend, I will say that I was definitely heavily listening to him at the more so at the beginning of his career. Not saying that I stopped completely, but I feel like as though his older stuff like definitely hit a lot more for me. But nevertheless, he dropped this and I was excited to hear it. His first song, Wake Me Up, he does sample Michael Jackson Thriller. This is one of the 5 minute songs, y'all. And the first 2 minutes is like a creepy build up. And then after he transitions into like the thriller type beat, the Wake Me Up chorus. I feel like it was a great intro song, very solid. It's actually one of my top songs on there. And then the second song that I like, which is track 2, Cry For Me. The transition from Wake Me Up into Cry For Me was pretty good. It's a solid start to the album overall. Like he started it on a very great vibe. The beat was fire on Cry For Me. I feel like it was like a drum kit with some hi-hats, some piano vibes, like a mixture of everything. Um, now the song where he vents about an embarrassing moment is actually number 3. It's a skit. It's not really like a song. It's a skit, and it's called I Can't Fucking Sing. And pretty much he's referring to the moment when he was performing in LA at the SoFi Stadium, and during Alone Again, his voice like was cracking and stuff like that, and he had to stop the concert altogether, but fans started booing him. And he actually opened up on an interview and said like that moment was like kind of like embarrassing for him. He was just going through a lot, and like he got like emotional about that moment. So yeah, he, like I said, he was venting. He was letting y'all know what's up, what's on his mind. And then he has another song on here, track 4, where he borrows some Brazilian funk vibes. Anita's featured on it. It's called um Sa- Sao Paulo. I hope I say that right. Sorry, y'all. I'm not really good at Spanish, but I honestly feel like the Brazilian funk vibe, it was giving Vogue. It was giving like the gays is gonna love this. I don't know. I was fucking with it. I thought it was okay. It's not one of my top songs. I gave it like, whenever I'm writing my notes, I'd be giving it like 2 fire signs. But this song, I would give it like a 8 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So now the next song. Oh, so next song I did want to talk about on this album is track 6. It's called Baptized in Fair. This song, y'all, it was very dark. Like I said, vulnerable songs on here. This is one of them. It was given like low key like dying vibe, high key dying vibes. He's like the figure in the corner, the shadow staring at me. It gets closer, like, I'm in the bathtub, I'm sinking, and it was a lot. It was kind of heavy. The voices was telling him to carry on. His heart is beating slower. I'm like, the weekend, no, don't go. But that's, I guess he's playing to that theme of, is this the end? We don't know. Now, um, another song that I did want to go into. He actually did have a Travis feature on here on the Reflections Laughing. He has Florence and the Machine on production, and Travis Scott is on here pretty much on the song. This also helps give the story about like him being vulnerable. There's a voicemail, and like he's like on the song, he's like, don't let me down. And then there's a voicemail from a girl that's referencing the moment that he performed in Dallas, and she's like, yo, my friend saw you, said you wasn't looking good, and that you barely finished the show. It seems like you're back drowning in your shit. What's going on with you? Like, don't let them break you. And then Travis comes in after the voicemail. I thought that song was pretty good. I'm like leaning towards putting it in my top. I want to see how it develops over the next few weeks. Do I listen to it a lot? I'm not sure, but first listen, I thought it was like about like a 7.5, 8 out of 10 as far as the song itself. Now the next song that I for sure liked, The Weeknd and Future, they have a song on there called Enjoy the Show. Future came in singing, y'all, like hitting notes. He probably shouldn't be hitting, but you know what I'm saying? He was like, fuck it, y'all gonna hear me sing regardless. And then he's like, I can't feel my face anymore, barring some of the Weeknd's like old lyrics. And he's like pretty much back in his big bag. He back in his feelings, y'all. So that song was good. And then the next song that follows after that is called Giving Up on Me. Future is featured on there. Future is featured. Yeah, I said that right. But he's just on the bridge. He's just on the bridge singing together with The Weeknd. Very small role, but I still did like that song a lot as well. It's a two-part song. In part one, The Weeknd's like how he'll pretty much always lie. He's always unreliable. But then in part two, he's like, no, she's no good for him. But don't give up on him. I mean, like he doing a lot of nigga shit, going back and forth. Like, you gonna be good or not? I don't know. That is another 5 minute song. But you know, pretty much part two follows on that slower pace. Now, another song I did want to mention, because of there was a speculation actually about the sample. Maybe y'all could figure it out. It's called "I Can't Wait to Get There," and um, he's like, "Enemies hate because I own my soul." I don't know if that was a jab or not. If I'm being mixed, he let me know. But it sounds like he's pretty much saying like, "Y'all hate me because I own my masters and you don't." But whatever. So people believe that I actually saw on Reddit that some people are speculating that this is a sample, because I was also like, "Yo, this sounds like a sample," but it sounds like a sample from this group called PM Dawn. They had a song back in 1995 called "Miles from Anything," and pretty much it sounds similar to that, according to some people, to myself too. And I didn't know. Fun fact for those from Jersey. This group was actually from Jersey City, Prince B and JC. So shout out them. And then the next song after that is Timeless. You already know, I already led with that. That was a great song for me. And yeah, I will say like after that, you know, he had like a Niagara Falls song. He had the song Take Me Back to LA, which was like the proceeds from that song actually do go towards the victims of the LA wildfires. So I think he's doing that for a great cause. On that song, he's actually talking about isolation and how he hates being by himself but knows it's good for him, and how like he's like, taking me back to LA, I miss it. But then he flips in the middle of the song. He's like, actually, LA is the reason for all my troubles. Like, it's really why I'm where I'm at. I miss the cold, I miss the snow. I guess he missed back home. But yeah, that song was good. That was another good song for me. I would say top song, weighing it out. But so far, my top songs, just to make sure y'all keeping up with me: Wake Up With Me, Cry For Me, Enjoy the Show, Giving Up on Me, a lot of giving up, Timeless. And then, you know what? I'll give Take Me Back to LA that I say in real time. I'm giving that. And then, like I said, after this, Big Sleep onward, I feel like it got kind of like boring. So I feel like those songs could have been cut. I will say the last song though, Hurry Up Tomorrow, that was a great ending song. The song at the end, the beat is actually, if you play High for This off of Trilogy, it actually transitions into that song. Like, that beat is the same. So I thought that was really good to have it kind of like be, if you listen to it on a loop, it will be really fire. And like, this song is like a confessional song pretty much. It seems like he's asking God for forgiveness. He wants to go to heaven when he dies. You have done a lot of shit, sir. We gonna see. But he also is vulnerable about the pain that he felt when his father left him, and how his mom tried to keep him innocent, try to save him. You know, it's a very vulnerable song about him wanting to change. And I guess like maybe when he's questioning like, is this the end? It's like, yo, is this the end of this person that I have become? The Weeknd that, you know, I want to go back to being able, you know, maybe that's where he's going next. Maybe he's dropping The Weeknd as a name, and he's just gonna be like, yo, I'm able and I'm here to sing to y'all. But I do think overall this album, I would say I gave it a B. Don't be hating. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think the album overall it plays to the theme really well. I do think there are some songs on there that I can replay. I do feel as though it could have been shorter, and it did get boring towards like after Big Sleep towards the end. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm at a B, maybe B minus. I'm curious to see how it grows on me over the next few weeks, and I'll update y'all if that score does change. But yeah, that's my honest review about it. I think, you know, January has been a very interesting month. There has been some great music drop. There has been some iffy music drop. I told y'all about it. But overall, January has been a crazy month. Like, oh my God, this year is going to be long. And like I said, we need a band together. We're going to get through it. And when y'all need a break from all the nonsense that's going on in the real world, y'all could tap in with me and listen to, what I got to say about the music and all that stuff. I'll keep y'all informed. I won't do too much. I try. But, y'all can let me know if y'all actually like any of the songs that I said. Give me feedback. I'm here for it. And make sure you stay tuned with me on the Culture Decides. That's where I'll post snippets and things like that, reminders that there's new episodes out. January has been crazy, but listen, February is going to be better. We're going to get through this together. Y'all stay safe. Make sure you follow the Culture Decides on everything. Stay tuned, download and like this episode. And thank you for tuning in to episode 2. This will be one of many more.